there's a concept I have on my list to get to that I meant to talk about yesterday that I forgot. That I'm gonna put my finger on my paper so I remember how to get back. You see how I have to. It's hard. I have grid skills, I think, but I have limitations as well, and that is what I'm trying to show right now. So it's good that it's working out. The thing we need to talk about first is why I brought up that the outline started as a glossary, and that's because you hear the phrase all the time: words are powerful. Words, give you power. Words help you understand a concept. Even I've heard before, but what I haven't heard before, in my experience, is most people don't talk about having much awareness of cognitive, meaning active, that you're aware of, that impacts your emotions and your thoughts that are in language, thoughts that are not in linguistic form. I have started to, I don't know how long ago, sometime during my therapy, I noticed them. Not this 13 weeks of group therapy, but the 15-ish years of therapy, leading up to it. Those thoughts that aren't in words are difficult to act on because they are hard to understand. Although I've come to be able to understand how they influence my emotions, and oftentimes that my linguistic cognition is influenced by them, but not necessarily how. But what I have noticed is that when I have a term that I didn't know before, but is a concept that I have some experiential knowledge about, having the term gives the linguistic part of my brain traction to bring almost very, very rapidly, maybe not instantly, but very rapidly, an entire half-formed concept together that I can work from really quick. And so for me, that is how I describe the experience of how words give power and why I like to start with words, and part of the reason why I'm so particular about them. You may notice that I'm particular about them, particularly because the next thing I'm going to talk about is that we need a whole new word for mind-body integration, because how else can we think about it if we don't have the right word? And mind-body integration can't be the right word, for one, because it's not its own thing. It's a smash up, which sometimes can be, but it's not even the right kind of smash up. In any case, the reason it's a problem is that it implies an arbitrary distinction that is maladaptive and excludes explicit consideration of perhaps, in some ways, maybe not the most important, but the most powerful of the three / we're going to talk about a fourth concept as well, of the whole thing, which is emotion. So you've got your mind, body, emotion we need to include. Emotion is very powerful and very tricky to understand. It takes a lot of work, and I don't think a lot of people do that work based on my interactions with them. So that's, I recommend it. It's hard, but it's good for you. So I thought I want to come up with a new term. Let me first look and see if I can find a term like in another language. And there is a decent one. Kokoro is good. Because, and that's sort of, because I think we need to look broadly. We need a multicultural, big picture. I started with the term multidisciplinary, but I think what we need is not just like multi or cross-disciplinary, but almost anti-disciplinary. We need to reject silos, and start from there, and start from the premise that we need to know everything to know anything. Maybe that takes a team. Maybe not everybody can do it themselves. I don't think even, I think maybe I do a good start, but it's even way, way bigger than me in this. And that's why I need you guys. Again, I've said it before, I think in last night's video, that maybe not, because I don't remember what I got to. You guys are a part of this, no matter how many of you there are. So kokoro, is translated in English as heart, which is imprecise. But obviously, there's no precise translation. We haven't grasped that background non-linguistic concept yet, because there's not a word in English. The Japanese word isn't even precisely what I'm talking about necessarily, but kokoro is sort of connection of the mind, which I think of as your cognition, your spirit, which I think of as emotion, and your body. I think they say, and when I say they, I do mean the AI on Google. We're going to talk about AI a little bit later too. I decided tonight, best as essence or core. I think those are okay. Another possibility I like is mark. It takes core and demands your place in the world in a way that having a body that requires space and shelter and food and water and oxygen to maintain the smallest, barest, least human definition of life. That hasn't been enough, but maybe mark. And you can see the logo for the Harmon-E-Poch website as to what I mean for mark, and we're going to talk about cave painting. But mark demands a place in the world, not just you demanding your own place, but the concept implies that a place in the world for each person is demanded. That seems like a reasonable place to start. Anyway, advocacy. This is kind of how the project grows. I'm sure I said at the beginning yesterday that it's in flux, such that it's hard to even record and transmit to you all in an effective way. But I think, if we like mark, then I think mark attunement is a good word, a better word for self-care, because it's broader and more specific and more designed to generate compassion. And it tells you more what you have to do. You have to understand what it is and take care of the needs of your mark. All four parts. So I'm hoping that, we're doing epistemology. We're also demonstrating spiky skills in action. Some things, obviously, maybe not obviously, to get to this point in the project, let me talk about the hyperfixation. Because today is a Saturday, and I had the idea for the performance art piece that this is last Sunday. So I didn't even know that there was a performance art piece, and then you can see how much, and I didn't know how to. I thought of the way that we're going to talk about autism and trauma in a little bit Thursday when I was in therapy with my therapist. That she knows we were talking about it. That's the first time I had that idea, and you can see how it's been integrated into the concepts of the video. I think it happens quickly at times. That's called hyperfixation. It is another I found today while I was walking around in my kitchen drinking water preparing to do this video, was thinking, hey, the hyperfixation and the special interests, because I was thinking about trying to explain the way that the brain chemicals can work and how those can be beneficial. But I was thinking, those are just specialized epistemological tools designed for extreme emergencies, basically. Designed to make you really good at lots of stuff, generally, in case of emergency, and to express yourself broadly to the world. And if you don't know what special interests are, you gotta look them up. They're extremely interesting. It's one of my favorite parts of being autistic. It's how I got to have so many jazz records